Commissioner, you do have one of the most unique districts in all of Clark County, and I actually think this pool is a good example. Obviously, Howard Hughes and Summerlin is almost a community partner with us here in Clark County, and this pool is a good example. Just talk about this.
It is. Howard Hughes Corporation is an incredible partner in our community, and by sitting here in this Aquatic Center next to Wet and Wild says a lot. They're gracious in what they do. They're building the very best. This is going to make an incredible need be a reality here in the southwest portion of town.
And I guess ultimately the deal is that Howard Hughes has built this pool, and eventually the plan is to turn this over to Clark County. This isn't unique that other master plan developers, including Summerlin, have built parks and other facilities for Clark County, but talk a little bit about this arrangement.
You know, absolutely. Our master plan communities, hence you had Rhodes Ranch, and so they built a park that is Red Springs Park, and it all blends in together. Giving park money is one thing, but the master plan communities, building the actual park, makes a great financial difference. So having this facility, which is multi-millions of dollars right here in our own valley in the southwest, makes a huge difference in what the county can do futuristically. And we will take this over, so it'll be our lifeguards, our staff, and they will be looking over this pool in the near future here.
Commissioner, the economic development in District F and Clark is probably mirroring how it's going in Clark County. We've seen the Wet and Wild in the past couple of years open up, and Summerlin, Howard Hughes also opened up the downtown Summerlin, which has been a very big success. How important are these developments to the overall economic picture in the county?
They create the amenities and the infrastructure, and having those amenities and infrastructure, when you buy a home, you have a place to shop, you have a place to work, you have a place to play. So that work, shop, live, play environment is very important. Society looks forward to that now. So the economic drive and that engine behind that creates the fun things and the good things and the every other option that we need for everyday living.
And again, as we continue to talk a little bit more about Summerlin, they've continuing on with their Cliffs and Regency, which is one of their villages. Pardon me, the Cliffs is a village right behind us here. Tell me a little bit about those neighborhoods.
Well, what's exciting when you go from Flamingo to pretty much past Russell, you have Regency, which is senior community, of Latitudes, which is another senior community. You have Discovery, which was the Summit, which is a community that is going to be here in the southwest portion of town. So the development is futuristic. It is meeting the needs of those baby boomers that really go from 1946 to 1964 that want that single story home that they can live and play in, and their grandkids and family members are welcome. So it's extraordinary what is happening across the Southwest.
Let's shift gears a little bit, Commissioner. I know you sit on the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, which has many tasks, getting people to come to Las Vegas, getting conventions to come to Las Vegas, and continuing on with our world-class convention center. Tell me about the Riviera Expansion and what's going on with the facilities with that, first of all.
You know, Clark County in Southern Nevada with LVCVA is very unique. We do need to keep reinventing ourselves, because if we want to be that #1 destination, that's what that takes. And LVCVA works very, very hard to go across the country and across the world to make sure we have what those people, the citizens, the foreign countries that are out there that are trying to compete with us. So that competition level needs to be moving quickly. It needs to be very done diligently. We have to have the space to bring those conventions, and they've done an extraordinary job over the past 45 years, and it's amazing. It is amazing the work that it does take behind the scenes of going out there and telling them why should they come to Southern Nevada, and that economic factor is very, very important to the future of Clark County and Las Vegas.
Is there anything symbolic that, again, once the convention center expands in the old Riviera site and with an entrance right on Las Vegas Boulevard, we've got a couple new hotel casinos either proposed or just recently opened on the north end of the Strip. Does that kind of change the dynamic of that end of the Strip a little bit, Commissioner?
It does. You know, when I came here, and it was many years ago, you had the Hacienda Hotel. Did Easter egg hunts for the citizens. You had the Sahara Hotel. So you had the Frontier Hotel. So when you look at the Evolve movement that's happened, we keep hitting. We're going to hope to be 43 million people that come here, and our own citizens that are here daily, they enjoy those amenities also. So it's extraordinary. The Riviera, being one of the older ones, which was heartfelt to many of us to not see it go away, makes a huge difference and improves that district of what can happen for the Convention Authority to bring some of those other conventions that need that outdoor space for that gigantic, if you have ever been down there, equipment where they have a place to have that and to show it off.
And even things where this becomes a community discussion and a Convention and Visitors Authority discussion and a county commission discussion where Mr. Winn wants to add a lake feature to his water, which a lot of people at first blush, they think that, gosh, how can you waste all this water in the desert? But at the same time, it's his money, and these are things that help Las Vegas, as you said, reinvent themselves and attract more people to come here, right?
And we barely looked at that because he just made that announcement. But what's interesting is you have to look at the golf course will be gone. So the monies and the water that was incorporated in that golf course, that water may already be there. So it may not be that he's generating more of our water, but that he's using the usage that is allowed to him. And we will get that information as and if he moves through this process. It looks extraordinary, and as you said, and we're saying today, that reinvention is very important. As much as some of us love that old history, we have that in other portions of our community and towns.
A lot of people probably don't realize that the Convention and Visitors Authority actually oversees the Cashman Field and Cashman Center there, which of course we have our AAA baseball team, the 51s that play there. And there's been a lot of community discussion perhaps of moving that team, maybe to Henderson, maybe out here to the Summerlin area, and with a new stadium. Bring us up to date on your thoughts on where we are with this proposal, or where we are with the stadium.
There are some very serious discussions. It needs to be a win-win. It has to be a win for the city of Las Vegas, where Cashman Field did. It has to be a win for LVCVA, and it has to be a win for the county. So putting all that together is going to take some really good efforts of everyone to know, does a soccer field belong there? Economic drive on a ball field of having the 51s is having restaurants, is having places for people to go, and that is really not there. Plus, right now, it is in a losing position as far as money and what's happening down in that area for LVCVA. So we need to be very cautious, we need to tread carefully, but we want to keep the 51s. It's extraordinary. When you go to those games, people have so much fun, but it may be time for a new stadium, and it may be time for everyone to truly sit at that table and see what's best for all three parties. That's very important. You cannot just take something away. We need to make sure the highest and best use is happening at Cashman Field, and it's been there for years. I mean, that's where El Dorado, and that's where the Carnival used to be, and there's a few other, the Bride Boutique goes there, but it's very serious time to look at it to make sure that the very best happens in all of our community so that we can all benefit from the economic drive.
And while we're talking about stadiums, Commissioner, there's a good community discussion going on now, and even stories just even as recently as today as the my team, the Oakland Raiders, are contemplating coming to Las Vegas if we would ever build a dome stadium, which would, not in District F, of course, but close to McCarran Airport and on a piece of land near UNLV. What are your thoughts on that, and what should the community be thinking about as far as if a new stadium, if we need a new stadium?
I think we need to make sure, number one, it's needed. We need to make sure that where does the money come from? In anything that we do, are the citizens for that? Are there people out there that have multi-billions of dollars that if they really do want that stadium, is that the time that they come to the table and let us know how serious they are for our community and what they want to drive? Once again, that economic engine, and if the timing is right, that this would happen in the appropriate way with the appropriate money.
And when you're dealing with the stadium, again, you shift your hat as a county commissioner. You have to make sure of zoning, traffic, land use, all these things, like you and your colleagues have done for the now T-Mobile Arena, which seems to have, in its first few weeks of operation, has alleviated those traffic and parking issues that a lot of people thought they might have. I
think that's going very, very well, and we'll continue to look at that futuristically. And what's nice is that it's not taking a venue from one place and putting it there. We are able to add venues, and then if we get the hockey team, which is sounding somewhat positive, and we'll know that, I would think, in the next couple of months, that would be extraordinary. We have a great following. We have people that love sports, and if we can meet their need, not only for the people here, but those multi-millions of visitors to have another reason to come here, that's quite extraordinary.
Seems like we've been talking about stadiums ever since we lived here, haven't we, Commissioner?
I believe so. I believe so.